Good evening. All right, the time is now 6:02. The regular board meeting of the Santa Maria Bonita School District is now in session. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero,
Present.
Mr. Valencia,
Present.
Mr. Hollinshead, we'll be right back. Mr. Lara,
Here.
Ms. Cabral.
Here. Report from closed session. In closed session, the board voted for immediately suspend without pay and issue a notice of dismissal to certified employee number 3744 for Education Code, Section 44934, and to dismiss said employee at the end of 30 days from the date of said notice, unless a hearing is timely requested per the Education Code. The board further directed the superintendent or his designees to give all required notices under the Education Code to effectuate the immediate suspension and notice of dismissal. The board voted unanimously. For item B and C, information was shared. For item D, the board approved the deliberation of stipulated expulsion agreement 2601, Government Code Section 54957, and Education Code Sections 48918 and 48900. The motion was made by Board Member Cordero and seconded by Board Member Lara with a unanimous vote. Oh yes, and we had an appointment.
Yes, also on item A, we had the board accept the administrative appointment for Dr. Heather Allen, elementary principal, Tunnel Elementary School. The vote was unanimous.
And for item E, information was shared. Tonight's interpreters are Cesar Ruiz and Benito Flores Ramirez. Greeting and support are provided by Karen Ramirez Espinosa, Benji Alfaro, and Daniel Garcia. The Pledge of Allegiance tonight will be led by Daisy Alcaraz.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Inspiration this evening, Heather Page, Fesler Junior High.
I actually appreciate the step that's for the kids. Good evening, Dr. McDuffie, school board members, cabinet, and our Santa Maria Bonita School District families. I am Heather Page, a proud Fesler alum and principal. Thank you for inviting Fesler to be this month's inspiration. As Falcons, our students are discovering who they are, their passions, and their purpose through meaningful education opportunities both inside and outside the classroom. We believe all people belong, have a voice, and can contribute. Today's presentation is a reflection of that belief in action. Everything you are about to see, from the student accounts to the activities, was entirely thought up, created, and led by our students. You'll hear directly from them as they not only share their experiences, but also show you what it's like to soar at Fesler, so be ready to be actively engaged. We're incredibly proud of their voices and excited for you to experience the incredible work happening at Fesler.
Hello, my name is Alisa and I'm in leadership this year. Leadership isn't just about being a leader because it's in the name, but it's about making our school a better place while still being SOAR, which, by the way, stands for safe, organized, accountable, and respectful. In leadership, we have a total of 7 committees that work on different events for our school. A few examples are Service Project, School Challenge, and Would Be Nice. The committee I'm in is Lunchtime Activity. I work on planning fun activities that are held during lunch on Fridays, depending on the activity and whether it's either outside or in Mr. Voss's room. A few activities that we have had are tug of war, relaxation room, Valentine's bingo, and many more. I'm also a web mentor. My favorite thing about being a web mentor is how I'm able to socialize with them and help them throughout their 7th grade school year. My favorite web activity that we did was gingerbread house decorating with school year reflections. I like this activity because my webbies and web mentors had to had to work together to fill out a paper about goals we have had for the school year, trimester, or future. We had to show our goals in our gingerbread house all together. A sport I enjoy very much is track. I enjoy track because I get to meet other people too. Both the practices and track meets are fun. Our track teacher is super nice and is really good at teaching us because I always see improvement towards the end, and I'm very thankful for that. Web and leadership has helped me be a leader on campus in many ways. Has made me feel like I could be myself with anyone while still being so as well. I try to help them as much as I can, even if we aren't doing anything related to web and leadership. Also, if my webbies aren't doing something that is sore, I try to remind them not to do it. At first, I didn't believe that I would be a good web mentor to them or leader, but as soon as I met them, talked to them, and got more comfortable with them, I soon realized that I would be able to do this and be there for them when they need it. I'm really glad I got accepted into both web and leadership because I'm a part of being able to make Fesler a better place and more fun place for everyone to feel comfortable and safe, where they can be themselves at all times. Thank you.
Hola, buenas tardes todos. Mi nombre es Betsy Flores López y yo soy una de las estudiantes en grado 8 de telesecundaria Fesler. Estoy en una de los programas de ELD y también soy una de las mentoras de web. Yo quería ser mentora de web porque me encanta realizar actividades con otras personas y conocerlas y conocer personas nuevas. Además, me encanta ayudar a otros estudiantes que se sientan bienvenidos en la Fesler y en el grado 7 fui una webby en las personas que fueron los mentores de web me hicieron sentir bienvenida en Facebook y me dieron más valor para hablar con otras personas, conocerlos y hablar en público como hoy. Mi objetivo como una mentora es algo, asegurarme de que mis webbies se sientan igual como sentí yo cuando entré por la primera vez en la escuela telesecundaria Fesler. Una de las actividades que planeamos y que realmente disfruté fue el lanzamiento de globo de agua, porque puedes confiar en tu líder o tus amigos que no te mojarán cuando estás lanzando el globo de agua. Esta es una de las actividades más divertidas porque sé que les gustan a los 7 grados jugar con agua y esos ayudarán a que más estudiantes se conectan con nuestra escuela y ellos van a querer venir más seguido en la escuela. Gracias por su tiempo.
Hello, my name is Daniela Garcia, and I am currently an 8th grade student at Fesler Junior High. Our web mentors would like to share a game we play with our webbies. The game that will be introduced is called One Left. The objective of the game is not to be the person that grabs the last item. You are permitted to grab between 1 and 3 items each turn. Is there a volunteer who is willing to challenge Betsy? Thank you for volunteering. Would you like to go first or second?
Get whooped again.
Thank you for participating, and next up is cheer.
You go down, girls. Ladies, can you go down? You can be facing me that way. Thank you.
Here we go.
Good evening, members of the board and audience. My name is Krista Jimenez, and I am an AVID scholar. I'm here to talk about how worthwhile AVID is. I believe AVID is worthwhile because it teaches students things such as collaboration, organization, self-reliance, self-advocacy, and determination. These skills are taught through things such as TRFs, tutorials, Framework Fridays, and focus notes. This video will showcase um, all the wonderful things AVID does. AVID brings many opportunities to students to teach them about A through G requirements and college readiness. Last year, the seventh graders were given this opportunity to go to UCSB. Trips like these help motivate students into going into college and upper education. Lastly, I would like to invite you to AVID Night on April 30th at 5 p.m. Thank you for your time.
The art displayed on the bulletin board was created. The art displayed on the bulletin board was created by Fesler Junior High seventh grade students, in which they explored environmental themes throughout art inspired by ocean organisms. Each piece highlights real-world issues such as overfishing, climate change, pollution, trawling, habitat destruction, and coral bleaching. Throughout both paintings and sculptures, students use mixed media to creatively express the challenges these marine plants and animals face every day. Their work not only reflects artistic skill, but also a growing awareness of the importance of protecting our oceans. Thank you again for following Fesler Falcons to showcase how we soar.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentations. And Mr. Hollinshead has a question.
Sorry, who's the teacher or teachers that were involved with this that you just?
Miss Ick is seventh grade art, and then we also have Mrs. Jimenez, who does our world cultural arts.
See how that stuff in Trader Joe's every year?
Yes, it was I'm not sure if it's still up. Do we know if it's still up? Oh, yes, kind of a student teacher.
Oh, Ms. Kay, can you get on the microphone?
Wait, Miss.
No.
I was saying our student teacher, for seventh grade art, is here right now. No, just say hi. Hi.
Thank you for walking.
Yeah, that's
And
a
then,
real.
and I have one more question, sorry. Those at the AVID projects look amazing with the cars and stuff. That looks similar to what Builders or Mesa used to do, some of those kinds of things. Do you still have that on campus, or is that?
Builders Club, yeah.
Do you? Okay, perfect. Yeah, those were amazing. So thank you for sharing those.
I think Mr. Lara had something to say, and then.
I just want to, you guys all presented well. You all are gonna have a bright future. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not gonna be able to do anything, because you can do whatever you put your minds to. And I really appreciate you guys coming and speaking to all of us in here. Excellent job.
Mr. Valencia.
Yeah, I want to say thank you also to the parents for your support, of bringing your students here, our administrators, our students. Thank you very much for modeling, right, what excellence looks like. And you talked about wonderful things like I can be myself at all times, right? So you all are modeling for others, right, what leadership looks like. And I like how you said leadership isn't like a position, right? It's like what you do, it's with your actions. And so these are like really wonderful lessons that you all are sharing with us. And you talked also about protecting our oceans. Like these are all things that the adults should be doing better. But you all are teaching us that it can and that should be done. So thank you very much. Thank you to all of our teachers and our staff at all levels, because they're wonderful because of all the time and energy you're investing in them. So thank you very much. Really appreciate you all.
Great. Thank you. I don't know. You can go back. Next is recognition. Oh,
Nothing?
no.
Oh, yeah. Can we take a picture
Right.
with the meeting?
Okay.
Young lady, you want to take a picture?
Do you ladies want to take a picture?
Everybody, cheer and all. Cheer and all. I guess we'll have to stand back here because they're getting a little taller than us.
You have to come up to the front.
Yeah, give me the.
I get this done.
I got so excited. I'm such a brain file. Get over. Speak up. Mike's off in the whisper.
Right. Moving on with our evening. Can I gavel? Where were we? Recognition. So this evening will be, this evening we'll be recognizing our Winter Game Change Awards. Ms. Lorica.
Thank you, board members. It's a pleasure to be back tonight to welcome our student athletes who have been recognized as the game changer for their teams for the winter sports. And so to facilitate this presentation, please join me in welcoming Marisha Ray Clark, our PE Health TOSA.
Good evening. My name is, again, Marisha Ray Clark. I am the PE Health TOSA. I also am the elementary sports lead for after-school sports program. Thank you so much for giving us time today to recognize our winter game changers. So this winter, our soccer league expanded. In the past years, we noticed that there was a discrepancy between boys and girls participation. And so after collecting some data for the past few years and getting coaches' feedback, we decided to move away from the co-ed league that had run in the past, and we decided to develop separate leagues for our boys and girls. This proved to be very beneficial for Santa Maria Bonita students. We had 15 boys teams and 12 girls teams. So in total, 444 students were able to participate this winter. With 132% increase in girls' participation in soccer, which is awesome. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our coaches. We knew that this expansion of our soccer leagues were going to require our coaches to step up, and they really did. And I just want to thank them for the dedication that they have shown to our students. I mean, they truly are the ones that are giving our kids the opportunity to compete and participate and be a part of a team. So thank you to all of our coaches that are here. At the end of every season, we ask our coaches to nominate one player from their team to receive the Game Changer Award. And the Game Changer Award recognizes those student athletes that just positively impact their team. When we ask coaches to nominate their student athletes, we also ask them to give a little description as to why. And I will say, after reading these descriptions, we have amazing students in Santa Maria Bonita. We really, really do. And it is clear that our coaches not only know their student athletes, but are truly invested in their success. And it just makes me hopeful for our future because I know that our student athletes are game changers here. They are going to continue to positively impact their teams, their schools, our community, and our world in the future. So it is an honor and a privilege to be able to recognize them tonight. So what we're going to do is by school, I'll call the game changers. When you hear your name, if you can come up here into the center, and if you are a coach of that game changer, if you could join them up here as well, I'd really appreciate it. So from Adams School, Jonathan Mata and Cynthia Gonzalez Lagunas. From Alvin, Angel Gaspar Gonzalez and Alicia Reyes Torres. From Battles, Marcus Santiago Pedroza. From Bonita, Leslie Lopez Aguilar. From Bruce, Elizabeth Santiago Portillo and Brandon Salazar Cruz. From Fairlawn, Maria Galvan Sanchez and Julian Morales. From Jimenez, Joshua Vasquez. From Libin, Haven Rivera and Roman Murguia. Is that right? Murguia. From Oakley, Ariana Villalba and Gael Lopez. From Ontiveros, Angel Pineda and Genesis Lazaro Rojas. From Rice, Jimena Garcia and Adrian Rodriguez. From Sanchez, Aiden Castellon and Irma Tenorio. From Taylor, Gabriel Ortiz and Janeth Chavez Villegas. And let's hear it one more time for all of our game changers for winter. Hey, don't look down, please. That's still a phone. From that line, you guys are gonna wave it at the camera to go by. If any parents or principals or anyone else would like to come up and get a picture, come on up now.
Congratulations once again to all of our game changers.
Thank you. And now we're gonna recognize the mural project and collaboration at Arellanes Junior High. Genevieve Beard. Just give him a moment.
This is really nice. Heather was right.
It's a different perspective.
Really, really tall.
Yeah.
If it had wheels, I could just take it with me wherever I go now.
Segue. All right.
It matches my large personality too, so.
It does. Okay, we can go ahead and start.
Good evening, members of the school board and superintendent. I'm Genevieve Beard. I'm the proud principal at Arellanes Junior High. I am thrilled to be here to share with you some of the journey that we've had in creating some of our campus beautification projects. Through campus beautification, we hope to engage students, families, and staff in projects that celebrate our shared values, cultural heritage, and local identity. Transform our school environment into welcoming and inspiring spaces that foster creativity, belonging, and a sense of school pride. Highlight the diversity of our school campus by creating artwork that tells the story of who we are. Our ultimate dream is not just to beautify our school campus, but to instill lasting pride and ownership in everyone who walks on campus. We decided to take a grassroots action this past October and host a school barbecue, fundraiser, and campus beautification day. We kept things small, really, really small, and student-centered. Our art teacher, staff members, and student volunteers worked together to paint 2 concrete benches and images on our bathroom walls and doors. But that small spark ignited something much bigger. One of our veteran teachers, Mrs. Lisa Lira, shared with me that her husband was involved with a group that was looking for a legacy project here in Santa Maria. She suggested that I put together a few pictures and perhaps a slideshow to share with her husband. I did, and a few presentations and meetings later, we grew into a collaboration with Leadership Santa Maria Valley, a class of 2026, which is an initiative through the Santa Maria Chamber of Commerce. Knowing now that we had the backing to create a large-scale mural, we went straight to our school community for input, our students and our staff. We surveyed them, and the resounding themes that they came up with were kindness, gratitude, sense of pride, and our Hawk community. The resulting design will be a 50 by 10-foot mural on a wall that is an entrance for about 85 to 90% of our students every single day. To bring this vision to life, we are very proud to share that we have officially selected local artists Glenda Stevens and Marcy Gooley. They are truly local legends, and you've probably seen their art in a lot of different places. They have beautiful contributions at the Santa Maria Library, the Santa Maria Historical Society, Orcutt Junior High, Joe Nightingale. And if you're in Orcutt and you're looking at that new Roy's yogurt shop on the side of the wall, the Santa Maria, yes, everybody's thinking, yes, I've been to that 76, right? And I've seen that beautiful mural. That's also their creation. So we're thrilled to have somebody that has a massive portfolio, but also really knows our community to be working with us. But this would not have been possible without leadership Santa Maria Valley's inspiring dedication. They have already reached their goal of $5,000, and they're also continuing to fundraise and push towards $10,000, with the intention of giving any remaining funds to Arellanes Junior High to continue with our campus beautification projects. But to share more about this collaboration from their perspective, I want to introduce two of our partners here today, Monica Carrillo and Jessica Gallus.
Good evening, board members. I'm Jessica Gallus. Thanks so much for having us. It's really an honor to be here. We chose Arellanes Junior High after learning about the students there, their strengths, their hopes, and the unique challenges they face. We met with Principal Beard fairly early on in our program. It's a program that goes from August to June. We met with her in around the October-November timeframe. And since then, we've been fundraising, researching, meeting in collaboration with Arellanes Junior High leaders and students. And our hope is that this project doesn't end with us. It is a legacy project. We hope that instead we inspire others across the Santa Maria Valley to invest in our schools, our students, and our shared future. Thanks so much for having us.
And if you would like to support with any donations, there's a QR code that you can scan. And if you have any questions, we'll be a few minutes here. Thank you.
Arellanes Junior High is all about community. And over the last couple of years, we have had the opportunity to redesign our open house to really be a celebration of our community. And part of our mural project this year will be incorporated into our open house. To tell you a little more, I have two amazing students who are going to speak to you.
Use the stuff, it works.
Good evening, members of the school board, cabinet, and families. My name is Adelise, and I'm an 8th grader and a web leader and a member of ASB at Arellanes Junior High. I am here on behalf of AJH to extend a heartfelt invitation to for our upcoming open house and community carnival on Wednesday, May 20th. This event is more than just a tour of our campus. It's a celebration of our entire AJH community, which includes our incredible students, dedicated staff, and supportive families, and amazing administrators. We are excited to open our doors not only to our current and incoming families, but also to anyone in our community who wants to experience what makes AJH such an exciting place to learn and grow. At AJH, we take pride in our core belief. We promote and encourage students to be ready to learn, ready to be challenged, ready to succeed, and ready to soar. And this is exactly what this evening is about, showcasing the heart to our school. This evening begins at 5:30 p.m. with a meeting for our incoming 7th graders, their families, as well as an Arellanes band concert. Then from 6:15 to 7:45, guests can explore booths from our academic departments, clubs, sports teams, and organizations. Booths will include student work like our students' awesome gallery, as well as games, foods, and activities for all ages. We're also inviting local community groups to set up booths and connect with families and students, creating a space where school and community truly come together. We are also thrilled to have a local family-owned and operated food truck, Soy Tu Cocina, selling delicious food from 4:30 to 7:45, and the local Band Reel 1221, playing live music, adding more fun to our event. Every dollar that is made from each booth will be helping out each academic department, club, sports team, and organization, so having you there to support them and help raise money would be amazing. We would be honored to have your support and presence at our open house, and we sincerely hope the greater Santa Maria community will join our celebration as well. We're excited, we're proud of our school, and we believe this evening will show just how special the AJH experience is. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope to see you there.
Buenas noches, miembros del Consejo Escolar, Gabinete y Familias. Mi nombre es Ana, soy alumna de octavo grado y líder del programa web ESB en la escuela Arellanes Junior High. Estoy aquí en nombre de AJH para extenderles una invitación a nuestra próxima Puertas Abiertas y Carnaval Comunitario el miércoles 20 de mayo. Este evento es mucho más que un recorrido por nuestra escuela, es una celebración de todas nuestras comunidades AJH, que incluye a nuestros increíbles estudiantes personal dedicado, familias que nos apoyan y administradores excepcionales. Nos estudiamos abrir nuestras puertas no solo a nuestras familias actuales y futuras, sino también a cualquier persona de la comunidad que desee experimentar lo que hacemos de AJH y un lugar tan emocionante para aprender y crecer. En AJH nos orgullecemos de nuestra filosofía, animamos a los estudiantes a estar listos para aprender, listos para ser desafiados, listos para tener éxito y listos para sobresalir. Y de eso se trata precisamente esta noche, de mostrar la esencia de nuestra escuela. La velada comienza a las 5:30 con una reunión para los alumnos que ingresan a séptimo grado y sus familias, seguido de un concierto de banda de Arellanes. De 6:15 a 7:45 las familias podrán explorar los puestos de nuestros departamentos académicos, clubes, equipos, deportes y organizaciones. En los puestos se exhibirán trabajos de los estudiantes como la increíble galería de nuestros alumnos de arte, además de juegos, comida y actividades para todas edades. También invitamos a grupos de la comunidad local a instalar puestos y conectar con las familias y estudiantes, creando un espacio donde la escuela y la comunidad se unen. Nos complace contar con la presencia de Soy Tu Cocina, un camión de comida familiar local que ofrecen deliciosa comida de 4:30 a 7:45. Y la banda local Banda Real 1221, que ofrece música en vivo, haciendo una más diversión a nuestro evento. Cada dólar recaudado en cada puesto se va a apoyar a cada departamento académico, club, equipo, deporte y organización. Así que contar con su apoyo y ayuda para recaudar fondos sería fantástico. Nos sentiríamos honrados de contar con su apoyo y presencia en nuestra Open House y esperamos sinceramente que toda la comunidad de Santa María se una a nuestra celebración. Estamos orgullosos de nuestra escuela y creemos que esta velada demostrará lo especial que es la experiencia en AJH. Muchas gracias por su tiempo y espero verlos ahí.
Last year, sadly, there was a board meeting the night of our open house, and so we missed you all. I'm thrilled that there is not that conflict this year, and we really hope to see all of you there. Welcome you to our amazing community. Community members, there are also flyers on the table if you are interested, and we hope to see you there as well. And I have one for each of you now. Thank you.
That's it.
We're Leadership Santa Maria Valley, class of 2026.
We're here to beautify the school of Arellanes, and we're here to inspire the kids in our community. We want them to see Arellanes and see words of encouragement. Words such as love,
Happiness, community, joyful, proud, friendly, supportive,
and encouragement.
The values and the mission that our mural should reflect should be the diversity of our school, our story, the cultural heritage that we have, and also all of the great work that we are doing moving into the future.
So to the love and support of everyone in the school helps actually the learning environment thrive and grow. And that's what I see at school, and that's one thing I do love about the school.
Really hope that they take away a sense of belonging, but also giving back to their community, being part to contribute to whatever community they end up, whether it's here in Santa Maria or wherever they move to really get involved, belong, but contribute, give back.
I want them to take pride and ownership of our campus, being a Hawk, being part of the Santa Maria community, and also moving forward to really being that strong community in the future.
Okay. Item number 8, public comment period, open session. Public comments are intended for members of the public to address the board on items involving the school district. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person or subject and 15 minutes total per topic. If any answer to a specific question is requested, the board president may, if appropriate, direct administration to respond in writing. Just a friendly reminder to our speakers this evening, please deliver your remarks at a moderate pace to enable our interpreters to provide accurate interpretation. Speaking too quickly may compromise the accuracy of the comments for our listening audience. Dr. McDuffie, do we have any comments on non-agenda items this evening?
Yes, we do. We have Jennifer Danowitz.
All better. There we go. Okay. Hello again. I'm Jennifer Danowitz, the instructional coach at Arellanes Junior High for the next couple of months, and then I'm very excited to be the new site coach at Miller Elementary for next year. I am here tonight because the last time I was here in February, we were asked to provide an update on the progress working with the district and that collaboration. And I was really hoping to have news that would be uplifting and exciting. And sadly, I feel like I cannot genuinely say that yet. It has been a very tough couple of months. There's been heartbreak, there's been misunderstandings, there's been confusion. And then today, there was an email where the district expressed disinterest in a true consultation process for the implementation of ASTs and site coaches. What I am very thrilled by is they want the information and the feedback from every current coach, current RTI, and future site coaches and ASTs. That is amazing. I am thrilled and I can't wait to be a part of that process. But what I've been asking for weeks are dates on the calendar to have a consultation process per our contract, per CBA, per Article 3, where we get to sit together before decisions are made so that we can build something together, which is all SMEA has been asking for months and months. I am truly hopeful that we can continue to work together, that we can make decisions in the best interests of our students together. Yesterday, I had a phenomenal opportunity to see a data reflection session at Rigetti High School. I had an amazing opportunity to sit with their coaches and hear more about the process and hear the amazing work that they're doing and how it is supporting students and benefiting students. And I am ready to lean in and do great things for this district. But I cannot do that if we cannot do it together. Again, please, no decisions about us without us. Allow us a seat at the table. Allow us to have the legal consultation rights that we have per our contract and per ed code so that we can do great things for Arellanes Junior High, for Miller Elementary, and all the other amazing schools in this district. I'm just partial to those two at the moment. But I am excited to lean into this process, and I hope that you, Cabinet Board, will support us and support that consultation so we can do great things. Thank you.
Alma Valle?
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Alma Valle, soy madre de una estudiante del distrito escolar. Estimados miembros de la mesa directiva del distrito escolar Santa María Bonita, me dirijo a ustedes como madre de un estudiante que forma parte del programa 504 con una profunda preocupación que nace solo desde la experiencia personal, sino desde la realidad que viven muchos estudiantes dentro de las escuelas. Reconozco el esfuerzo que el distrito ha realizado al implementar planes de seguridad y programas de apoyo. Sin embargo, debo expresar con claridad que esto no está siendo suficiente para atender las verdaderas necesidades de los estudiantes que dependen de ello. En un plan en papel no puede sustituir la presencia humana, la atención inmediata y el acompañamiento constante de nuestros hijos que requieren. Hay días en los que los estudiantes permanecen en las escuelas más allá de sus horarios, intentando cumplir con sus responsabilidades académicas, mientras su ansiedad, estrés aumenta en cada minuto. En esos momentos críticos no siempre cuentan con el apoyo necesario. Es profundamente preocupante saber que no hay suficiente personal disponible, consejeros, enfermeros, psicólogos y terapeutas para atenderlos de manera oportuna y adecuada. Nuestros hijos no deberían de sentirse solos en medio de una crisis emocional dentro de un entorno que debería protegerlos y guiarlos. Cada estudiante merece acceso inmediato a profesionales capacitados que puedan brindar atención, orientación y un cuidado que lo necesitan. Como madre me siento frustrada, molesta y profundamente triste. Confío en el sistema educativo, no solo por lo académico a mi hijo, sino que también lo cuide como ser humano. Esperaba y sigo esperando mucho más por parte del distrito. Les pido consideren seriamente la urgencia de esta situación, que tomen medidas concretas para aumentar el personal de apoyo en las escuelas. No se trata de cumplir con un requisito, sino de proteger el bienestar emocional y mental de cada estudiante. Nuestros hijos merecen más, merecen ser escuchados, atendidos, apoyados de manera digna y constante. Y de antemano le agradezco, doctor McDuffie, que respondió a este mensaje. Yo se lo envié por correo electrónico. Me contestó que alguna persona de su equipo se va a comunicar conmigo y le dejo saber que aún no lo han hecho. Gracias por su atención.
Dear members of the board, board members, I am writing to you as the mother of a student who is part of the 504 program, with deep concern that stems not only from personal experience, but also from the reality faced by many students in our schools. I recognize the efforts the district has made in implementing safety plans and support programs. However, I must clearly state that these are not sufficient to address the true needs of the students who depend on them. A plan on paper cannot replace the human presence, immediate attention, and constant support that our children require. There are days when students stay at school past their scheduled hours, trying to meet their academic responsibilities while their anxiety and stress increase with every passing minute. In those critical moments, they do not always have the necessary support. It is deeply concerning to know that there are not enough staff members available, counselors, nurses, psychologists, and therapists to assist them in a timely and appropriate manner. Our children should not feel alone in the midst of an emotional crisis within an environment that is supposed to protect and guide them. Every student deserves immediate access to trained professionals who can provide support, guidance, and care when they need it most. As a mother, I feel frustrated, upset, and deeply saddened. I rely on the education system not only to provide my child with an academic education, but also to care for him as a human being. I expected, and continue to expect, much more from the district. I ask that you seriously consider the urgency of this situation and take concrete steps to increase support staff in schools. This is not just about meeting a requirement, but about protecting the emotional and well-being of our students. Our children deserve better. They deserve to be heard, cared for, and supported with dignity and consistently. Dr. McDuffie, I want to say thank you for replying to me. You did say somebody was going to be in touch with me. Unfortunately, no one has reached out to me.
That's all the public comment on the, or off the agenda.
Do we have any public comments on agenda items?
Yes, we do, and we can hold those until we actually
Till we
get to
do-
those.
Okay, all right. Then moving on to item 9, approval of agenda as presented. Are there any questions regarding the agenda items this evening?
Yeah, Ms. Cabral, I would like to ask that on the consent agenda, item 10B 8, award RFP number 5 for junior high and elementary after-school programs be pulled. The scope is, while I very much, and I think the board very much appreciates the information we've been given thus far, I think there's also needs to be more room for discussion.
So just for clarification, Mr. Hollingston, you're asking to remove that item from the agenda and bring it forward in a future meeting, is that correct? So we have more time to review the information?
No, I'm asking for it to pull. Typically, it would be placed in the.
Taken out of consent and put into action.
I
action.
see.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, rather
Yeah.
than tabling.
Gotcha.
Unless that's the rest of the board's preference would be to table. Tonight I'm ready to go.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, I'll second that motion to pull from consent, if that is your request, to make it an action item.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
We're not there yet.
It's really about approving the agenda.
We're just approving the agenda with, okay. Motion, so can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
as amended.
Okay. So it's been moved by Mrs. Cordero and second by Mr. Hollingshead to approve the amended agenda as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollingshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Item 10, consent items. Actions proposed for the consent agenda are consistent with adopted policies and approved district practices and are deemed routine. They are to be acted in one motion without discussion unless a board member requests that an item be removed. In this case, it was item B.
B10
10B8, yes.
or B.
So we'll move that to action.
B.
May I have a motion for consent of the amended agenda?
So moved for consent.
I'll second.
Who moved?
I did.
You did. Moved by Mr. Hollingshead and seconded by Mr. Lara to approve the amended agenda. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollingshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes. Item 10, action items. A student discipline action. We're gonna start with that. Okay, so go ahead and present on the award for the RFP Junior High and Elementary After School Programs, ASP.
Okay, President Cabral, we have some public comments
The comments.
for that. And so I will start. We have a Zoom public comment and a pre-recorded message as well. So we'll start with Brianna LaJoy Pena.
Thank you, board and cabinet members. I, as an active community member here in Oxnard, for over the past 30 years, I'd like to just say a few words in regards to the after school program, the Think Together program, seeing the different after school programs that are offered in this area. I do definitely see a drastic difference in them. Being a student that grew up in the Oxnard School District and gone to a Boys and Girls Club after school program, or even an after school program that was held directly from or through the district at the actual school site. Now being a Think Together staff member and a site program manager where I manage an entire program here at Rio del Sol, excuse me, I do definitely see a difference, and the academic achievements that Think Together does offer the students who don't necessarily have that out in their own private lives, or things that parents can accommodate to them as far as homework support, offering them clubs or sporting events that they don't normally get to partake in because families can't necessarily afford it. Because yes, our little city is getting a little bit bigger, but for those who have been here a very long time, the changes are slowly but surely coming. And because they're moving at not the pace that everybody would appreciate, those who are on the lower income side that don't get those same programs offered to them outside of school, it gives them a chance to grow and kind of, like I said, just have those opportunities that they would have not been able to have if this type of program wasn't here. The changes I've seen in students from 2 years ago when we were at a completely different program to now, they're achieving higher grade levels. We're performing 2 grade levels under, and now are meeting or exceeding that grade level. And just the confidence that they have built in as a student as well as an individual is beyond amazing to see, especially since working with these kids for the last 5 years. It's been a tremendous growth that I've seen in all of them, that I think that without this, like I said, it wouldn't have been something that they would have been able to achieve or even want to do or even come to school. So the fact that we're making it a welcoming environment and they feel welcome and heard and seen in every which way is beyond fulfilling as both just a community member as well as a faculty for the staff and for Think Together. So I thank all of you for allowing me the time to be able to share all of the positive experiences we've held here.
Thank you. We have another pre-recorded message, Joe Dana.
Hi, this is Joe Dana, Joedana, and I would like to speak to the item on your business and financial consent agenda regarding the award of junior high and elementary after-school programs. I am a local educator who also is a member of the board of the Santa Maria Valley YMCA, and I would like to speak on behalf of the YMCA and the other community organization that submitted a proposal to provide after-school programming, the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Central Coast. I respectfully ask that you reconsider the recommendation to award after-school programming at 13 of your schools to a non-community organization, Think Together, and just 4 schools each to the YMCA and Boys and Girls Club. I have 2 points to make. First, I would like to personally attest to the quality work being done by the YMCA with the district's after-school program these past 3 years. I have visited after-school offerings at Adam, Alvin, Rice, Robert Bruce, and Tunnel schools. I always have been impressed with the quality of staff, the rapport between staff and students, and the quality of academic, recreational, and social activities planned by staff. Second, I believe community-based organizations are better suited to serve Santa Maria Bonita students than an outside organization. The YMCA and Boys and Girls Club have boards and executive leadership with strong ties to our community. Their whole focus is on serving this community, not on multiple communities around the state. The YMCA and Boys and Girls Club also have a strong track record of success working with local students and long-standing relationships with families in this community. The YMCA and Boys and Girls Club also have a strong track record of success working with local students and long-standing relationships with families in this community. These organizations want the best for young people in this community because they are of this community. And I believe that if you articulate specific goals for after-school care, such as aligning it more closely with your academic program, the YMCA and Boys and Girls Club will respond well. Please reconsider the staff recommendation regarding the Santa Maria Bonita after-school program. You have 2 community-based organizations who can do the job while also doing right by our community.
Okay, we have Katie Wallace.
Good evening, Superintendent McDuffie, Cabinet, distinguished board members, parents, families. My name is Katie Wallace, and I am the Director of District Partnerships with Think Together. As someone who was raised in the local community and came back to serve as a teacher and an administrator for Lompoc Unified for 22 years, I'm excited at the prospect of bringing Think Together to Santa Maria Bonita School District. I wholeheartedly believe in the impact we have on students, and from the lens of an educator and parent, would have loved this for my own students and children. Similar to Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA, Think Together is a nonprofit, community-based organization. However, our focus is on serving students in California first. We do hire locally and embed and invest in the communities we are a part of. In fact, I have 2 colleagues here with me who also grew up, give back, and live in our community. We understand the importance of a quality after-school program. Students need more than a babysitter after school, and Think Together provides the structure, the academics, enrichment, physical activity, and exposure to the skills that kids need to be prepared for life after high school. We build relationships and work closely with parents, teachers, principals, and district administrators to ensure we are following the district's mission and vision. We tailor our programs to meet the needs of of the schools we work in. We collect feedback from students and all stakeholders, collaborate, and adjust as needed. Think Together partners with other community-based organizations to ensure that we are operating collaboratively to provide a comprehensive program that runs in the best interest of all students. While our original home base is Santa Ana, we have a proven track record of bringing systems and processes that support high-quality expanded learning programs to districts across the state. We have expanded into the Central Coast, the Central Valley, Bay Area, and Sacramento area over the past 2 years with fidelity because we care about student success and we believe we can make a greater impact with our programs. We are invested in bringing the students in Santa Maria Bonita the same high-quality program that we would bring to any other district across the state. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this evening.
Richard Bacala.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Bataya. I'm the Youth Development Director for the Santa Maria Valley. Oh, thank you. First of all, thank you to the Santa Maria Bonita School District for trusting us with the responsibility of overseeing the 21 after-school sites for the past 3 years. What stands out the most is the impact of these programs have had on students. For many of this, become more than just a place to go after school. It becomes a place where they felt they belong. It's where confidence was built, friendships were formed, and new possibilities began to take shape. The consistency of the staff and the wide leadership mattered to the students, the principals, and the APs at the school sites. Students were able to experience things for the very first time, visiting campuses, participating in programs like Ballet Folklorico and Zulu hip hop dance, and exploring new interests. Those moments matter. They help young people to see what possible and begin to believe in their own potential. These programs are also created opportunities for older students to grow. Local high school students stepped into internships, gaining real-world experiences, building leadership skills, and mentoring young participants. The ripple effect, students supporting students, strengthened the entire program. Families play a crucial role in this work. Through consistent outreach and quarterly surveys with strong participations, families shared that their children felt safe, enjoying being active, and were connecting with enrichment opportunities. Just as importantly, every effort was made to ensure families felt included and heard, regardless of language, because when families are engaged, students are better supported. At its core, this work is about strengthening the community, supporting students, partnering with families, working together to create environments where young people can thrive. This partnership with Santa Maria Bonita School District, our deep connection to this community, and to these families we know and care for, made it possible to truly serve all of them in a meaningful way. So again, thank you for trusting us, for working alongside us, and for allowing us to be part of something that has made a real difference in so many lives. Thank you.
Shannon Seifert.
Where's that stool when you need it? Hi, I'm Shannon Seifert. I'm the CEO of the Santa Maria Valley YMCA, and we've gotten the joy and pleasure of serving in ASP for the last 3 years, but in the Santa Maria Bonita School District for your care of the students here for the last 30. In partnership with the Boys and Girls Club, it's just been a great partnership, and I'm delighted, and that is really what I'm here to say is, we're grateful and delighted to have this opportunity to serve again. We're thankful that we get to be back. I have way more points in here. I always think I can talk off the cuff here. One of the things I want to say too is you guys as educators, admin, I know we work with a lot of staff here. families, oh my gosh, watching the families come up here today. We know so many of these kids. The Arellanes talk about the beautiful mural. One of our staff is on that leadership committee putting that together. So we're very entrenched and very involved in this community in a myriad of ways. It isn't one dimensional at all. It's what trickles from the after school we have in our programs. For instance, today we had Benita School at a swim lesson that the YMCA helps financial aid and that we partner with the school district to do. Next time it'll be Oakley. We have, I think, 5 Santa Maria Benita school districts for during the day swim lessons. And these extracurricular things that we get to do with the school and with these students in particular are all cohesive with this community, and they all interweave with each other. It's really quite lovely. We have a great Rise Up program that partners with Santa Maria Bonita again and Guadalupe, where Berto hails from. And we take these kids that are challenged in the community and identified by your principals, and we give them an extra full month in the summer, non-school day curriculum just designed for them. Take them on field trips. Richard and his crew wrote entire books with each one of them when they were in 3rd grade, published them, held a huge dinner for 200 family members who all came to see them present their published books. The things we do are wonderful between 2:30 and 6, and also wonderful on the off times. We are just really part of this community, and will remain so. We're delighted with a further educational opportunity with Bulldog Bound at Hancock. We take our 5th grade Rise Up students and officially bridge them over to Hancock, and it's such a great opportunity, and Kevin Walters helps us with that. So basically, I'm just delighted that we get to serve and will continue to do so. And I really want to specifically thank some of you board members and staff who've taken the time to come to our sites on invitation and see what we do. It takes extra time. You're all so busy, and it's magical to see you at those sites and to see you interact with the students and families. So we celebrate this fact that the Y and the Boys and Girls Club get to be here, and we thank you.
We have Maria Fabula. Did I pronounce that correctly? Fabula. Yes.
All right, good evening, Dr. McDuffie, board president, trustees, and staff. My name is Maria Fabula, and I am the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Mid-Central Coast. I really want to begin by expressing my appreciation for our staff, your staff, actually, for their thoughtful and thorough RFP process, and for recommending our organization to serve students at Robert Bruce, Bonita, Oakley, and Fairlawn Elementary Schools. At our core, our mission is simple. We exist to ensure that every young person, especially those who need us most, has access to safe after-school programs, caring mentors, and opportunities to learn, grow, and thrive. We bring a proven model that aligns directly with the district's priorities, academic support, enrichment, and social emotional development are all delivered in a structured, high-quality environment that complements the school day. We understand the responsibility that comes with serving your students and their families. This is not just about operating a program. This is about building trust, delivering consistency, and producing real outcomes for kids. If approved, we are ready to begin immediately. Our team is prepared to partner closely with district and school site leadership to ensure a strong launch this fall. So thank you for your consideration and for your continued commitment to young people in Santa Maria. Thank you.
And those are all the public comments we have. We actually have Lori Grock and Patricia McKnight available as well to speak on this item.
Good evening, board members. We wanted to share with you some of the requirements that we included in the RFP and a little bit more background on our after-school programs. So after-school programs, what you may formerly know as ACES. So we started with the ACES grant many years ago. We have now transitioned to fully funding our after-school programs with ELOP in our elementary schools. And beginning next year, all 21 of our sites will be ELOP funded. So we're relinquishing the ACES grant in favor of the ELOP for all 21 sites. So this is an after-school program at each of our 21 sites that focuses on developing the academic, social, emotional, and physical needs and interests of students through hands-on engaging learning experiences. It is the intent of the legislature that expanded learning or ELOP fund programs are pupil-centered, results-driven, that they include community partners, and that they complement but not replicate the learning activities in the regular school day and year. So with that in mind, we created the RFP proposal requirements. Some of these were legal requirements, some of these were funding requirements, and some of these were the preferences of our TNL supplemental staff in terms of what we thought would be best for the program. Every ELOP day that we receive funding for has to be at least 9 hours, including the 6.5-hour student day. So our RFP was from dismissal to 6 p.m. So whether dismissal is at 12:25 on a minimum day, 2:30 on a regular day, 3:45 for a junior high, whatever it is, the program will run from dismissal to 6 o'clock to ensure that we have 9 hours of programming. We're meeting the staffing requirements that are set forth in the legislature, including that every staff member be NCLB highly qualified and all of the clearances and trainings. 3 of our program elements that we wrote into the proposal are required by ELOP funding. Those are the educational literacy, the physical activity, and the enrichment. Those have to happen every day in the program. That is required. And then we added on in our proposal the desire to see elements such as VAPA, STEAM, career technical, service learning, college awareness, and cultural appreciation. And we made it clear, as is required by the funding, that no student or family will ever be charged for these services, that students are there for at no cost to the families, and that enrollment in the program is not based on participation. So that was a big switch from ACES. With ACES, you had to be there every day or you lost your seat. With ELOP funding, it is whatever the parent needs. So if they want to be there 3 days a week and not come the other 2, that's okay. If they want to leave at 4 o'clock every day, that's okay. They don't have to stay till 6. They don't have to come every day, and they don't risk losing their seat in the program. So knowing all of that, we then went through the RFP process, and I'm going to now turn it over to my cohort in crime, Patricia McKnight from Contracts and Procurement. Did I get it right? Yes. Who will talk about more of the specifics.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Dr. McDuffie and Cabinet. I'll be sharing the details, the procurement details of the RFP process for the solicitation. As a reminder, an RFP procurement method allows for selection based on best overall value rather than strictly the lowest price. While cost is an important factor, it is not the sole consideration in the award recommendation. For this RFP, it was conducted in 3 phases. Phase 1 was technical scoring, Phase 2 was cost scoring, and Phase 3 was a timed, structured presentation and interview with the evaluation committee. The request for proposal solicited qualified organizations to provide on-site after-school programs at all 21 school sites for 180 instructional days per year. District staff developed the specifications, and on February 27th, a notice inviting proposals was published in the Santa Maria Times and also posted on Planet Bids. 34 prospective proposers downloaded the solicitation documents, and 17 proposals were received and opened on March 13th. Of the proposers, 2 were based in Santa Maria, 9 were California firms, and 6 were from out of state. 14 of the submitted proposals were deemed responsive to the RFP. An evaluation committee comprised of 3 district staff members was convened to review and score all responsive proposals. Thank you. For phase 1 technical scoring, 5 technical criteria areas was established with a possible maximum score of 75 points. The criteria included program design and description, 20 possible points, past performance and references, 5 possible points, program quality and professional learning, 25 possible points, organizational support and staffing, 20 possible points, and then finally innovation, 5 possible points. Proposers were required to achieve a minimum technical score of 55 points to advance to phase 2. The chart represents the 6 proposals who met the required minimum score to proceed to phase 2. In phase 2, cost proposals were broken down into 3 categories. First, a fixed monthly operational cost, including administrative staffing, taxes and benefits, operational insurance, headquarter office costs, indirect costs, and profit. Second, cost per on-site staff members, including salary, taxes, and benefits for on-site staff, as well as testing and qualification of applicants and professional learning. Third is the cost per student, which includes program supplies, materials, and equipment. For cost, 25 possible points was allocated, and at the conclusion of this phase, each proposer's technical score and cost score was combined, and proposers meeting a minimum of 75 points were invited to participate in phase 3, consisting of a structured presentation and interview with the evaluation committee. As you can see from the chart below, all 6 proposers met the minimum score to proceed to the final phase. As we move into phase 3, all proposers' scores were reset to 0. The structured presentation and interview was timed, giving all proposers the same amount of time for their presentation, as well as a Q&A session. This phase had 30 possible points allocated. As part of the structured interview, each proposer was asked to include in its presentation a clear, student-centered depiction from a student's perspective of what a typical day in the ASP program would look like under its management. Proposers were also asked to outline the specific steps they would take to address a program lead who was not meeting expectations. And lastly, each proposer was required to present 3 quantifiable goals for Santa Maria Bonita School District's ASP program. Goals were to include at least 1 short-term goal within 1 year and 1 long-term goal defined as 3 or more years. The goals were to include the proposer's plan for implementation, as well as their process for monitoring progress towards each goal. The final scores are as follows in the chart below, with the top 3 proposers being Think Together with 29 points, YMCA with 24 points, and Boys and Girls Club with 23 points. So at this time, I will turn the presentation back over to Lori.
The RFP terms and conditions were written specifically to permit the district to award contracts to multiple firms and to allow for final cost negotiations. So I do want to point out that the costs included in your board packet are currently in negotiations, and they are listed as a not to exceed amount, not the final negotiated total, which may be lower. The maximum amounts are based on full program capacity with every student seat filled every single day for all 180 days. However, the district will only pay for actual student attendance. So they'll pay the fixed costs every month, but the per student billing is on actual attendance, students in seats, with the goal of building each program to full capacity. So currently, we have 2,272 students in ASP. This RFP allows for a maximum capacity across 21 sites of 2,810 students. We feel strongly that the proposals submitted by Think Together, Santa Maria Valley YMCA, and the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Central Coast met all of the requirements outlined in the RFP documents. They were deemed responsive. Think Together received the highest score, but we are also very committed to diversifying our offerings to students, to working with multiple partners. We believe in the power of competition and collaboration, and so we want to ensure that we provide the most competitive and engaging programs for students. And that is why our recommendation is for the 3 awards. 1 group to the Boys and Girls Club, 1 group to the YMCA, and 3 groups to Think Together. I wanted to also point out, as Shannon spoke eloquently to, this doesn't end or limit our partnership with either of these local partners or any of our local partners. We continue to partner with both the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA with their off-site programs, which have some of the same focuses as our on-site programs. And we currently have 2 facilities running programs for the Boys and Girls Club and 2 facilities running programs for the YMCA. This award does not affect our collaboration for those non-school day and off-site programs. I wanted to finish our presentation tonight by recentering us on the work that we do in this district and on our strategic plan. We believe that each person has inherent value and deserves respect. And we believe that all people belong, have a voice, and can contribute. And so we believe that diversifying our ASP providers through multiple community partners fits our strategic plan and our beliefs, and we recommend that you choose all 3 partners. We undertook this work of the RFP based on the 5 parameters that this district agreed to. We made every decision, every score, every allocation, every conversation all about what was best for students, how to treat all presenters with dignity and respect, and most importantly, to practice the responsible stewardship of all of our resources. And so if our objective is for students to be prepared for limitless possibilities and achievements, using their unique gifts and talents to develop skills to reach their maximum potential, we recommend that the Board of Education approve the award of the contract to Think Together, Santa Maria Valley YMCA, and the Boys and Girls Club of the Central Coast as presented. We are happy to take your questions now.
Thank you. Board, are there any questions? Comments? Yes, Mrs. Cordero?
I appreciate your reference to our core values and strategic plan and all of that kind of thing. I think one of my biggest concerns about employing or utilizing an outside agency is their understanding of our community, and what you see on paper, what is part of a presentation doesn't necessarily guarantee that that will be the final product. So I guess my big question would be, was there any effort to visit or see any of the after-school programming?
Yes, actually, thank you for that. We agree. What we see on paper, as you can see, the way the scores varied from the technical to the scoring to the presentation, we wanted to make sure that we were really evaluating all aspects. We have had the pleasure of seeing all 3 of these proposers in action. We have visited after-school programs exactly like ours with the exact same funding and the exact same requirements run by Think Together at several locations, including Compton. So we're not visiting Simi Valley, very affluent communities, and looking to see if it can translate to what we see in our community. We have visited communities very much like us, with very many of the same challenges, the same demographics, the same multicultural influence in the community. And what we saw was absolutely exactly what we want for our children.
And the employees and the training that would be required to go with that. I just have concerns about putting so many of our eggs in a big basket like that and not fully utilizing the resources that are tried and true, I guess.
So all of our recommended proposers do recruit and hire within this community. Think Together has already begun recruiting and hiring within this community. So while the payroll may be done in another zip code, the people that are running the program will 100% be Santa Maria people. We firmly believe that. We see that in other programs when we ask, like, where are you from? Did they bring you in? Nope, this is my community. This is where I live. This is where my kids go to school. We have great faith that they will be able to, that all three of our proposers will be able to fully staff their programs with locals in a timely manner. This is not, for any of these proposers, this is not a turnkey operation. We do not hand them the keys and say, see you in 180 days, take care of our kids. It is highly collaborative. We have weekly meetings with our ASP partners, with the administration, with our ASP TOSA, with our program specialists. We do site visits constantly. We engage in conversations from the lowest level of a program lead substitute to the highest level of the CEO of the companies to ensure that we are getting what we want and that the program runs according to our standards and our philosophies. There will be some trainings that are undertaken collaboratively with all of the employees of all three of our community partners and run by our staff here at SMBSD. And there will be other pieces that we give them the required components and require them to give us pre-approval of the slide deck and records that show that everyone attended and an exit test that proves that they learned what they told us they were teaching them. So we have checks and balances in place that allow some autonomy by the partner and some control by the district. And we feel very comfortable with that model, that we will continue to see programs that we love for our kids that meet our standards.
Anybody else? Mr. Valencia?
Is it possible to see a breakdown of what the costs are for each of these three proposals?
We wouldn't be able to provide that to you tonight, but we can certainly provide that to board members. We do have the not to exceed amount, but I think what you're asking is like if you could see fixed costs per staff costs and per student costs. And that's a pretty complex spreadsheet, but we would be happy to share that with you. But again, those costs are still being negotiated.
Yeah, the costs are not to exceed, correct?
Correct.
And so since a big part of our role, right, as board members is we're fiduciaries, right? Making sure that dollars are being spent, right, in a responsible manner. And so, what does that, how do their fees, how do they compare? How do they compare and how do they differ?
Mr. Ricky, can you present for me again? Thank you. Oh, and it's giving us an error. A little Lenovo, and we've run out of skips. Yeah, so let's get out of present. There you go, so they can see. And maybe just change there you go. Sorry that's not. Okay. So we would be happy to provide you with those actual dollar figures after this board meeting, but you can see from the scoring, they're pretty tightly aligned. Both Santa Maria Valley YMCA and Think Together received 12 out of 25, while the Boys and Girls Club received 14. You can also see that KinderCare and BAM were 23 and 21. So what you can infer from those figures is that the lowest cost provided was KinderCare, followed by BAM, followed by Boys and Girls Club, followed by YMCA and Think Together, and the highest cost was provided by Concord. That's how the pricing structure works with the 25 points. So you can infer that from the scoring. But what I will say is that the pricing is pretty close. Even as we begin to negotiate these three partners, they are very close. The groups vary in size. They vary in maximum enrollment. One group has 5 schools, while all of the other 4 groups have 4. So there are some differences in price, but what we're seeing from their initial figures is that they are very comparable. No one is way out in front, and no one that we chose is way at the bottom either.
Yeah, because we do see that sometimes, right? When we
Yes.
get certain bids, right? It could be off by $100,000, $50,000, et cetera. But what you're saying is that their pricing is pretty comparable to each other, the three that you're sharing with us. Is that correct?
Would you agree with that, Madam Procurement? Yes.
And at what, wait, and I wanted to clarify if I could on your question, at what level? Because like when you grossly look at it per site, there is about $100,000 difference per site. So is that a per student thing or numbers of
So
kids?
part of it is $100,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
This total bid is going to come in probably between 10 and 14 million. So then 100,000 is a very, very, very small percentage. Right, but I mean, the total cost, if you were to look that way, it does, but the economy of scale makes it less glaring. But yes, so the number of staff members required is dependent upon how many full-day TK and K classes, because that ratio is smaller, so those costs go up. Junior highs are obviously less expensive because there are no TKK and they are typically smaller. Their enrollment is smaller. Some of our sites have a lot more student capacity than others. And so the total number of seats available to students is different. So when you look at the fixed cost and the per student, per staff member cost, we are seeing very similar figures, and we'd be happy to provide those.
No, and that's all I was asking, Ms. Kroc, is I think to clarify for myself and so that
His name is Mr. Valencia.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, Mr. Valencia. I started to call him Ricardo, but I wanted to call him Mr. Valencia. Just because grossly it looks like there's a difference, but so that's why I wanted to see where that difference where the scoring made it closer.
Yeah, so these groups range from 300 students for the 4 junior highs all the way up to in excess of 800 students at some of our larger groups. And then the number of staff members, of course, ranges greatly. So when you break it down to the 3 costs that we asked them to bid, the fixed cost, the per staff member cost, and the per student cost, we're seeing very close similarities, very competitive ranges.
What can I? Yes,
Can I go?
Mr. Honsa?
Can I go?
Yes.
So first of all, I want to, whoopsies.
Uh-oh.
My Miller School Mustang. That's okay. Please, don't tell me my sugar skull broke.
What'd you do to
Okay.
your computer?
No, I just hit
No,
it's
hit
all,
the
it's all
cord.
Brian's fault. He's got the cables right around my feet. He tied me up. First of all, I want to acknowledge that, sometimes the community of Santa Maria can, in our, protection of our local folks, can feel like or sound like we're kind of insular. And so, and in times it can maybe not serve us the best. So I'm happy that we're looking outside, or expanding our view but also at the same time making sure that folks here are employed and the people from our community are part of our endeavors. I have a couple of questions, and I guess one of them was the information that we received said that a couple of the vendors were willing to do certain sites, a certain number of sites, but yet they were assigned to Think Together. So that, to me, indicated that there was a wish on some of our applicants' parts to do certain sites, and yet we awarded a really disparately large apportionment to a new entity. So it's not just necessarily that we're going outside of who we have normally employed locally to help us, but that we've made a really significant commitment without seeing the product. So typically, say if we have a curriculum that we implement, we go ahead and trial it with a pilot. So I'm a little concerned that, well, a couple of things. One, that it's such a large component of the award. But two, I was also curious as to whether you feel like Think Together's relationship with Arenda gave them kind of a step, a foot up, like, or under, being able to jibe with what are some of our goals in an implementation that we're doing with Bright Futures.
And how would you know that they're affiliated with Arenda?
It's on Think Together's website.
Okay. I did not. look
They've
at
been
that.
affiliated with them since 2022.
Yes. I'm going to start with the first half of that that I heard, which was some of our proposers bid multiple groups. I will tell you that of the 14 proposals that we evaluated, 13 of them bid all 5 groups. And the Boys and Girls Club bid 2 groups. And so we knew going in that we probably weren't going to give any one entity all 5 groups. And so then we started thinking about what makes the most sense, what's a good fit. Think Together, both from their proposal and from our talks with other districts that use them and our visits to other districts, they have a very, very strong student interest component that we feel is especially beneficial for our junior highs. So we wanted to award Think Together the junior high group, which is historically very, very, very low attendance and enrollment, in the hope that we could really build that up for our junior high families.
Okay.
Knowing that, we then said, if Think Together is going to take all of our 7th and 8th graders, they should probably also have the Arellanes Junior High Elementary Cluster, which has the 7th and 8th graders at Jimenez, so that all of our 7th and 8th grade students would have equal opportunities for the programs that they bring to the after-school programs. From there, then the Boys and Girls Club asked for Group 2, and we chose to request that you award them Group 2. I think that's mostly a physical proximity. That is their neighborhood. Those 4 schools are in their neighborhood. And I think that was why they only bid those 2 groups. And then the YMCA, we looked at what group we thought would be the best fit for them, and then made the recommendations from there. So that was how we reached the groups that were awarded when when 13 of the 14 proposers did bid all 5 groups. The second half of your comment was that we haven't seen the product. And again, I acknowledge that the board has not seen the product, but I can tell you that my team and the review panel team really did their due diligence to talk to people who use the product, to visit sites that have the product. We are very involved. TNL Supplemental is very involved in the California After School Network. We go once a month to a California After School Network meeting, and they do site visits. So part of the agenda is like in the morning, we all talk and do the things, and then in the afternoon, we go see a program in whatever our host city is. So we have seen lots of programs, and many of them are hosted by Think Together far before they knew that we were bidding or that they would be a bidder. And so we are very comfortable standing before you and telling you that this is a solid product from all 3 of these proposers, and that we are very confident that our programs will grow and thrive if the proposal is awarded as requested.
One more? Okay, one more. And I'm going to bring this up over here a little more. We have in recent past with different programs had difficulty hiring. And so I think another concern with this large of award for one entity that is a new presence is in hiring. So if for some reason they're not able to fulfill 13 sites, do is what's our backup?
Mhm.
Do we go with the other awardees or other bidders?
There is language in the contract that we can cancel the contract if they're not able, if any of our contracted partners are not able to meet our requirements. So the short answer is yes, we would tell them if you can't get this stuff in place, then, and can't run our programs, then we're going to, fall back to another contractor. I will remind the board respectfully that this is the same conversation we had 3 years ago when we awarded the YMCA all 5 groups, and everyone's mind was blown that we would be able to staff 21 sites with one entity. They were able to do that and pulled through beautifully and were able to staff those programs. And we believe the same is true of Think Together. And one thing that I will share with you is that Think Together, all of their, and I don't, Katie, you're still here. Katie can correct me if I'm wrong, but Think Together, all of their program leads are full-time with benefits.
That's wonderful.
So that's
Yeah.
a great recruiting tool right there for our local community to get a full-time position with benefits.
Yeah, no, and again, respectfully back at you. I remember the conversation. I think that's why several of us wanted to pull and discuss this, because we wanted to really be clear on what the process, not just what the process was, but what we hope our outcomes are to be. And so, my question was more on like a per site thing, like if they can't fulfill 12 of 13 or something like that. That was really more of it than it was than just dissolving the contract altogether with them. So I wasn't insinuating we would just.
Thank you. I apologize for the misunderstanding.
No, my bad on my question. But thank you guys so much for really coming through with all the information. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Any more questions? If not, can I entertain a motion?
I'll recommend that the Board of Education approve the award for a contract for RFP number 544, Junior High and Elementary After-School Programs, ASP, to Think Together, Santa Maria Valley YMCA, Boys and Girls Club of the Central Coast, as presented.
I need a second.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Valencia, second by Mr. Hollinshead for the approval of the award to contract RFP 544. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
No.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes 4-1. 4-1. Now back to our regular agenda. Action item A, student discipline. Action on stipulated expulsion agreement between districts and parent for expulsion 2601. Mr. Palmerston? No, he won't present, right? No.
I'll speak to that, President Cabral. The district and the parents, student 26-01 stipulated to facts that are grounds for expulsion under the California Education Code based upon the stipulated agreement between the district and the parents and the stipulated recommendation on expulsion 25-01. The Board of Education is hereby requested to take action on said recommendation.
Okay. So can I get a motion? Yeah.
I'll make the motion that the Board of Education adopt the stipulated expulsion agreement as presented.
I'll second.
Moved by Mr. Lara, second by Mrs. Cordero. That the Board of Education approve the stipulated expulsion agreement between district and parent for expulsion 2601 as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia? Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Item B, motion passes. Item B, public hearing. At this time, I call public hearing for the Santa Maria Bonita School District to order to receive public comment on the approval of increasing school facilities fees as authorized by Education Board Code 17620 and Government Code Section 659995, Level 1, at the time, 7:57 PM. Any comments, questions?
No public comments.
Okay, if no further public comments, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. The time is 7:57. Item C, adoption of resolution 2520, adoption of a fee justification study and the increase in school facility fees as authorized by Education Code 17620 and Government Code Section 659995, Level 1. Mr. Beecher.
Thank you very much, President Cabral. I have just a couple slides for the board tonight to talk about developer fees. This is one of two presentations that the board will see this year. The developer fee justification study that was in your board packets, that is the source for our ability to increase fees, is required for school districts to renew every 2 years if they wish to increase their level 1 fee. The one that we'll bring back at the next board meeting, assuming all the timelines line up, will be the school facility needs analysis that allows us to charge level 2 fees, which is an alternative fee for school districts that is more specific to what our needs are. But this one is more of a generalized fee, and like I said, I have just a couple slides to walk us through. It allows us to charge a fee on new housing, commercial development, and there's a couple of different small and specific fees that are in there, given certain conditions for developments that are within our boundaries. And so for tonight's item, the school district's share of these fees is $3.84 for residential construction and 62 cents for commercial properties. Previously, these numbers were $3.69 and 60 cents. The reason I have to say our share is that we share boundaries with the high school district. And so we split based on the allocation of grade levels we serve. We split the fee between the two districts. So the Santa Maria Bonita School District receives 10/14 of the fee, and the high school district receives 4/14 of the fee. It used to be split by 13ths, but once TK went to all months of the year, all 4-year-olds being able to attend TK, we had to adjust the formula. Part of the justification is to establish a nexus so that if you can show that when new construction occurs in your boundaries, that new children come out of that new construction or produced by that new construction, then you qualify for the fee. And here are the definitions of the 3 types of nexus. A burden nexus, meaning students come; cost nexus, meaning there's a cost to house those students; and then a benefit nexus, that we will actually use those fees that we collect to provide construction or reconstruction of school buildings for student housing. Part of that process is ensuring that all of the fees that we do collect get deposited into a specific fund, Fund 25. And those funds are the only developer fee funds are the only funds that are deposited in that fund, and those expenditures from that fund have to be on construction and reconstruction. So with that, the district does meet the requirements of the Education Code and Government Code to charge the maximum fee that's allowed. And if approved by the board tonight, the increased fee will take place in 60 days will be the new fee. Any questions?
That's anything over 500 square feet is where you collect the fee, right?
Correct. In development, there's an exemption for development that is under 500 feet.
Yeah. So if anybody's putting permits and so they get, nothing happen, if they go past the 60 days, the permit fees will change, right? Then for.
Correct. The district's developer fee, the permit fees they charge at the city, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
But as part of that process, they come to us to pay their fees and get a certification from the school district that we collected those fees from them. 60 days from now, that per square foot fee will go up to the $3.84 per square foot for developments and improvements greater than 500 feet.
I just want to tell you thank you because my permits won't be ready.
Thank you.
Anybody else have questions or comments? Mr. Hollinshead?
I'll move to adopt resolution 2520.
I'll second.
Great. Thank you. Moved by Mr. Hollinshead, second by Mr. Lara, that the Board of Education adopt resolution 2520, adoption of a fee justification study and the increase in school facility fees as authorized by Education Code Section 17620 and Government Code Section 65995, Level 1 as presented. Roll call.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lauren?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item D, adopting resolution 2522, approving the absence of a board member from meetings of the Board of Education. Dr. McDuffie.
Thank you, President Cabral. The attached resolution must be adopted in order to compensate board members for absences from board meetings to perform services outside the meeting for the district if the board member was ill or on jury duty, or the absence was due to a hardship deemed acceptable by the board.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? And can I entertain a motion?
I'll move to approve or adopt resolution 25-22, approving the absences of board members from meetings of the Board of Education.
Second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Mrs. Cordero and second by Mr. Hollinshead that the Board of Education adopt the attached resolution number 2522, approving the absence of a board member from meetings of the Board of Education as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Laura?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. Item E, adopt resolution 2523, release and reassignment of certificated administrators. Mr. Plant?
Good evening, Board, Dr. McDuffie, Cabinet. Tonight I bring to you resolution to adopt resolution 2523, the release and reassignment of certificate administrator, Education Code Section 44951 authorizes the Board of Education to release and reassign certificate administrative employees, provided that written notice of the potential release and reassignment is provided to the administrator by March 15th of the school year prior to reassignment, and the notice of administrator's actual reassignment is issued by June 30th.
Recommend that the Board of Education adopt the attached resolution 25-23, authorizing the release and reassignment of certificated administrators as presented.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Valencia and seconded by Mr. Hollinshead that the Board of Education adopt the attached resolution 2523, authorizing the release and reassignment of certificated administrators as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral.
Aye. Motion passes. We'll take a. Should we take a break? Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll take a 5-minute break, 10-minute break, be back at 8:20. Yep. At this time, public hearing. I call the public hearing for the SMBSD in order to receive public comment for the Santa Maria Bonita School District Sunshine Proposal, the successor to the collective bargaining agreement for classified bargaining unit members expiring June 30th, 2026. At this time, it is 8:17. Dr. McDuffie, do we have any public comments?
No, we do not.
Okay. With no further public comments, we will close the hearing, the public hearing at 8:18 p.m. Discuss and approve the Santa Maria Bonita School District Sunshine Proposal for the successor to the collective bargaining agreement for classified bargaining unit members. Mr. Bland.
Well, good evening again. I am pleased to share with you that the Santa Maria Bonita School District has submitted its sunshine proposal for the successor to the collective bargaining agreement expiring on June 30th, 2026 for the classified bargaining unit members. SMBSD is requesting that the Board of Education consider opening the following articles. Article 3, Evaluation Procedure. Article 5, Hours and Overtime. Article 6, Pay and Allowances. Article 7, Health and Welfare Benefits. Article 9, Vacation Plan. Article 19, District Rights. And Article 22, Discipline, as well as all the other articles previously brought forward by the California School Employees Association, CSEA, and approved by the Board of Education, and lastly, other related items and conditions of employment as they may arise during the course of negotiations.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? No? If no questions, can I entertain a motion?
I'll make the recommendation that the Board of Education approve the Santa Maria Bonita School District Sunshine Proposal for the successors to the collective bargaining agreement for classified bargaining unit members expiring on June 30th, 2026 as presented.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Lara and seconded by Mr. Hollinshead that the Board of Education approve the Santa Maria Bonita School District Sunshine Proposal for the successor to the collective bargaining agreement for the classified bargaining unit members as presented. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cordero?
Aye.
Mr. Valencia?
Aye.
Mr. Hollinshead?
Aye.
Mr. Lara?
Aye.
Ms. Cabral?
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Bland. Item 12, discussion items. Special Education Parent Advisory Committee, Parent Survey Results, and Annual Update. Mr. Uribe?
All right. Good evening, President Cabral, esteemed board members, and Dr. McDuffie, and members of our educational community. I am Armando Uribe, and I am the Director of Special Education, and tonight I'm providing you an update on the results of the Special Education Parent Advisory Committee, also known as CPAC, and the survey results from a survey that we provided for our families. And so I want to remind us of our mission here at Santa Maria Bonita School District, which is that we want to ensure every student flourishes by discovering their passion and purpose, exercising self-determination, and developing the skills to reach their maximum potential through a student-centered culture and distinguished by a whole child approach, an inclusive environment, community and family engagement, transformational innovation, and highly effective staff. And so CPAC, where did this, I want to give you a little bit of contextual information on where CPAC started, right? Last year, we had a couple of parent evening nights where we provided families with some information about the IEP process. And throughout that process, parents brought up that need for a space for them to be able to have a voice, right? So this, in the spirit of everybody belongs, has a voice, and can contribute, this school year, we made it an effort to begin a parent advisory committee and provide this opportunity for families to engage with each other in learning how to support their students, and also providing a space where they could be empowered and learn more about their experiences here at Santa Maria Bonita School District. So far this year, we've had 2 meetings where we've provided families with that engagement, and we've began providing the committee with opportunities to provide feedback on a schedule for next school year as to guest speakers that they would like to have here present for them, and also 3 topics of interest that they would like for us to educate families on. And so we're currently working on that, and we'll have a plan for them next school year. The CPAC committee currently is made up of at least 2 parent representatives from each site, from our school sites, our 21 school sites here. They elected their steering committees. So our president is Nicole Benavides. Our vice president is Norma Alonso. Our secretary is Alejandra Sanchez. And district advisors, including myself, and 2 of our program specialists, Tricia Robertson and Katie Ibarra. So an overview of the survey results. We actually met with our committee, our CPAC committee, to develop this survey prior to sending it out to our families. And so they got that opportunity to provide feedback on the questions. They got the ability to review the questions and ensure that they were not only comprehensible for our families who are Spanish speaking, but also that they met all the needs that we would like to see to help us improve our programming. And so overall, we did send it out to all of our families who have students with disabilities or with special needs. However, we only received 107 responses. 85 of the responses were from English-speaking families, and 22 was from our Spanish-speaking families. Overwhelmingly, we received positive feedback on the experiences that they're having across the district with special education, strengths in providing more inclusive opportunities for students, and the partnerships that they have within their sites and their teams that support their families. And the communication, home to school communication, was also seen as a strength when it comes to the support staff that support the families. System strengths. Most families feel that partnership and they feel valued. So 89 to 95% of the families reported that they feel like they're a valued team member when it comes to the IEP process and making those determinations for their students. 85 to 95% of families also reported positive inclusive practices being engaged in the school sites, so being part of those discussions. A lot of them shared the benefits that they've seen already with their students, including more language output from some of their students, more communication, more social interaction that they're seeing improving for their families and their students, and also that ability to be in the general education setting, which was not something that they exercised before. Communication, Spanish-speaking families reported more positive communication between home and school than our English counterparts, but the English counterparts was not that far behind with 75% positive communication. Areas of growth that were identified between both families, communication and of student progress. So a lot of the families reported that the need to have more clear and consistent progress reporting on how students are doing with regards to their goals and their progress in their programming. They also reported the need for more staff preparedness with regards to the ability to understand their students, understand their disabilities, but also how they support students in the general education setting, including general education teachers, but also the para-educators that support our students in those inclusive environments. We also saw a lot of feedback from families wanting to have more access to a continuum of services at more sites, So really wanting that across the district. And they really shared that variability of services because not all of our sites have that full ESN continuum. Family voice and what we heard. So again, our Spanish-speaking families really have high trust and satisfaction with the programming that they're receiving. There was a lot of requests from our Spanish-speaking families for more staff to provide more speech and language services. Our English-speaking families requested more staff training, again, for our paraeducators in particular, making sure that they're highly qualified and that consistency with their staffing. So they really shared that same kind of feedback that we've been hearing, that there's a lot of changes in the paras that they're supporting their students. So that revolving door that we're seeing with our paras. We also had a shared theme of wanting more clear communication, again, with regards to progress reporting on their students' progress. They want more reliable supports in terms of staffing, kind of what I've alluded already. And so really, we want to continue working and supporting our teams, but also our families with providing training and support for the paraeducators that we onboard. In closing, the strategic priorities in closing for this survey, again, strengthening our IEP progress communication. So working on training with our staff to ensure that they provide those progress reports on time and consistently to our families. Investing in staff capacity, so continuing our supports of the UDL trainings that we've provided, but through our support that we're going to be providing next year. Improving consistency across sites, so ensuring that supports are consistent with more staffing. Hopefully, we'll see families feel like there is more consistency in the level of supports they're receiving. Expanding inclusive practices, so again, with that training and teachers feeling more well-equipped, hopefully we'll have more inclusive practices visible for families so that they can see that work is coming to fruition. And again, all of these things really align with our Bright Futures project, the universal access, provided an inclusive culture, and that shared responsibility that we have for serving that whole child. So again, in closing, we're in the right path with the feedback that we're receiving from families, but we need to work on refining, strengthening, and scaling our ability to provide students appropriate programming so that we could create that positive impact. Some of the suggestions for next steps for strengthening our inclusive practices were a gradual implementation of inclusion, continuing that gradual implementation, more training for general education teachers, stronger supports for teachers and paraeducators, and again, addressing that differentiated instruction for our students, those challenges that they have. A lot of the families and staff have been requesting for collaboration time, right? And enhancing that, the training and the resources provided to our staff so that they could feel equipped to make those accommodations and supports for our students. I wanted to take this time to have a few celebrations of what we've accomplished this year as a special education service area. This year, we've been the lead in supporting our UDL training that we provided across the district. And so I missed one training, so I apologize, but there was actually 4 main trainings that we provided district-wide to our staff. We also have continued to be part of the UDL network with the county, so we're continuing that support and meeting. This year we met twice already, and we have one more last meeting at the end of May. And that we get to hear from other sites and other districts who are also implementing inclusive environments and inclusive supports and learn from that, but they also provide what you'll see on the next, right below SIP, inclusion site visits, which are programs that are already doing inclusion really well or that provide universal access design really well. And so we've been doing a few site visits for us to see what's working out there and then hopefully bringing it to implementation here at our sites. Again, our establishment of our CPAC has been a great thing for all of us, and it's really we've been receiving a lot of positive feedback from our families with regards to the space that we're providing. And then we've strengthened our site leaders, UDL Lens as well. So UDL is the Universal Design for Learning, by providing them with 4 dedicated leadership academies this year around that topic as well. And then the parent feedback, right? Providing that parent voice through the survey. We did learn that this time around that we need to be maybe out at the sites to provide more participation from our families, because we just relied on sending it through Parent Square and email. But we may need to be more in the sites, maybe take advantage of conference week or something and have families fill out our surveys then for next year. And then the why, I just want to remind us about the why. The why for everything that we do is really to provide our students that success, that feeling of belonging, and providing teachers and students that ability to differentiate their instruction, but also the tools to provide the right scaffolding and the tools to provide the right access for them to feel successful. And so this is a 5th grade student who traditionally would have not been part of the general education classroom and probably would have had a completely different assignment. And in 5th grade, as you know, there's the state reports that they're required to do, right? And so the teacher thought the student was not going to be able to participate or do the complete assignment, but in collaboration with our district support team and our ed specialist that supports his child, they were able to provide the right tools to allow him to actually complete the whole assignment. And he actually went up there and presented his assignment with the supports of that. You guys see that little tool that he has there. It helps amplify his voice and supports with presenting. So this is the examples that we want to see throughout the district. And again, that is our mission here, is to provide those inclusive opportunities and see our children thrive. So just wanted to remind us about that. Any questions?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say thank you. Really wonderful stuff. It's nice to see reflected from the parents, and what they're seeing is kind of the things that I think we've heard from other places as well, but corroborated, and then some of the same recommendations. I was going to ask if given the training for the para educators, if we're seeing better numbers in employing or finding people to be fulfilling those roles here for our district, because I feel like we're understaffed, and that's one of the things that we've relied on other folks for.
You mean internal, providing internal?
Yeah, are we staffing fully or better staffing this year?
We are working on that. I know that we can partner with the current partners that we have, because all of our staff are local staff, but most of our staff is currently staffed through agencies. But we are able to bring some of those individuals on after we reach a certain amount of hours. So after the staff work for a certain amount of hours, we're able to bring them on board. A lot of them, though, are having a hard time making that switch. And so we are working with our HR to support that and hopefully increase that ability to bring them on, and so that we do have our own internal staff. But we are also working with our community members, like Hancock, I believe, has a program that they're facilitating training for paraeducators. So we're hoping to tap on that resource to try to bring more internal staff. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Lara.
I just want to say thank you for everything you do. Great work, the compassion you have for our kids, and involvement with our parents, and coming and presenting to us like you do. Just thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Yes, I don't think I've been here a short time, but I don't think I've gotten like the survey in detailed about how the special education program is doing. So thank you. If there's no further questions, the board acknowledges the Special Education Parent Advisory Committee Parent Survey results and annual update.
Thank you,
As
Board.
presented. Thank you, Mr. Uribe.
Thank you.
New business. Do we have any new business this evening?
I would like some updates regarding our community schools. I know Dr. McDuffie spoke about that at the educators forum that I missed because I was home in bed, but I have seen a couple of news reports, and think I read in one of our Friday updates that we have 8 schools that are called early starters or some such thing. So I would appreciate some more information about what that will look like and how it is going to be introduced to staffs and so forth. And I also, the report on our English learners, our ELD report that we received, there was a 60-day window mentioned in making those corrections to those findings, and I would like information about that as well.
Do you like more specific, you'd like information about how we're going to be
How
remedying
addressing those.
Absolutely.
Valencia?
For me, I'd want to get an agenda item on our dual language immersion program and where we're at. I know from time to time we get an update, right? And so I'd like to know when that will be so that we could have that agendized to see what progress we're making, what challenges we're having, and how we can continue to support that as a board.
Absolutely. I think we are moving forward with the DLI task force. So I don't know when they may be ready to provide some information. Board Member Hollins.
Dr. Robles indicated that, so we have a meeting next week. We have at least 1 to 2 more. She feels like we might have another meeting after that. So I would guess probably sometime in May, the task force would have completed their discussions and such. So it might be, if it's probably sounds somewhere like around then,
Okay.
that she would have the capacity, and maybe Dr. Castillo-Schiffer.
I'll work with staff and we'll get something.
But that's where we are with the task force.
On the governance. Thank you.
Sorry. I didn't think I had one, but I did. I've had some outreach from folks who wanted to know more about our elementary school science curriculum and offerings, and not necessarily obviously in the specifics of it, but the preparedness of our teachers. Again, it's kind of a similar situation, I think, where some folks feel more comfortable than others having a general ed background, which is obviously a lot of times a humanities-based degree. So I'd like to just hear more about that, how we're delivering science to the classroom, whether it's visiting teachers, those kinds of things, because we've heard tonight that there's interest from the outside, from the parents and what have you about it as well.
Thank you. And then item 21. Board Superintendent Reports. Ms. Cordero?
It seems like it's been a year since we last met. And while a portion of that time we were on vacation, hopefully everyone had a relaxing and enjoyable spring break. But a few things that kind of have happened in between. We did in March have our quarterly schools meeting at Santa Maria High School boardroom. Not very many people were there, but we talked a lot about growth and how we're going to address that for both the elementary and the high school district, and changes that are occurring and the impact that it has on our schools. We really kind of had more of a roundtable discussion. So I recall that as being the primary topic of discussion. You're nodding your head, so I'm okay. We did have our Santa Maria Bonita School District Gala, which was very well attended, and I think everybody had a lot of fun. It was fun. So thank you again to all of the people that worked to make that a big success, and a great deal of appreciation to those that received the awards. The nominations come from their peers. So I believe that makes them even more special. So that was a fun time. The Santa Barbara County School Board Association did have a meeting in the first Thursday in April. And again, because people are on different spring breaks, we only had 9 people in attendance. And one of the things that we often bring up at that meeting is how can we get a representative from the 20 school districts that are in the county. It's an hour. And it's not that there's anything spectacular or extra special. It's just an opportunity to hear about what kinds of things are going on in other districts. So a couple of the things that came up were special ed requirements without the funding, the mandates to do more without the funding, the increase in the number of EL and special ed students, and districts just really trying to do it all. It's even and even more so in small districts where their funds are a lot more limited and their staffing. People are genuinely being asked to do more with less. So growing concern with some of the conditions within our educational community. There was a battle of the books at Fesler for junior highs. That was quite a lot of fun. I, of course, signed up to volunteer thinking, oh, I've helped do this before. And junior high Battle of the Books looks a little bit different than elementary Battle of the Books. So I got a taste of that. It was just as enjoyable. And, the students, of course, there were, I think, 2 that had read all 22 of the books, which I find quite amazing. And there will be a county Battle of the Books tomorrow at the Maldonado Center, starting at 9. And though it was a last minute, hey, can anybody out there help? Through our Altrusa group, I said, hey, okay, I'll come, I'll help. It'll be fun. And then we have our elementary one on Friday. So I'll be around kids a lot, which makes me happy. There was a special ed preschool meeting that was quite informational, and because of the change in relationship between the county and our special ed program, I was a little bit panicked when initially thinking it's kind of late in the year to be thinking about what we're going to do in August, and was relieved to find out that this is not planned for implementation until the 2028 school year. So that was a big relief. And I last week attended, it was put on through the Chamber of Commerce and the League of Women Voters, I guess you would call it a forum. They had 5 different people there speaking about different aspects of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, legal things, mostly surrounding, the discussion was in relation to immigration and things that are happening. It was informative. And it was, I would say, moderately attended, which was a little bit disappointing because it is such a hot topic. And then West Ed was at Alvin yesterday doing some facilitator training, which I haven't really gotten into that part of it. And I joined them, and it was very interesting and insightful. So every time I go to a school and participate, even if I'm not there consistently, I've gotten bits and pieces through the last couple of years and feel like I have a pretty good understanding of what is going on with our PLCs and the collaboration and what the goals are for that. And I will announce here, I've received the invitation. When teaching at Ontiveros, through the time that I retired and continuing up until this year, a single person who comes back, even though she's retired, every year to lead the choir, is actually going to hang up her baton and retire. The last performance of the choir will be next Thursday night at 6:30 at Ontiveros. So invitations, and we're being told, let people know who've been there, who were there, former students, all of that kind of thing. So I'm very much looking forward to that with mixed feelings. She was always an inspiration, and whether she had 10 students, which I don't think she ever did have that few, or 40, which would be more normal, she could get those kids to perform. And they loved it. That's it. Thank you.
I'll just share that over the spring break, I attended an event at Ella Hancock College by a program called Phoenix Rising, where they work with justice impacted students. So these are students that have been either in prison or have had family in prison, and that, obviously affects the educational outcomes for a lot of our students in terms of their ability to, focus on their education. One of the keynote speakers talked about drug addiction and the dangers that come with it. And so it just made me think of our students. And, I know we do education around that, but it just makes me be more mindful of how are we continuing to educate our young people around this? Because we know, unfortunately, it can start at a very young age. And it just made me think about our students and our families. So I just want to thank our staff for the work that they're doing in that area, and then also continue to explore other areas that we can improve in that arena. And that's it for me. Thank you.
This week was a really exciting week for me, or this past week. Most of you guys probably don't know, but I grew up in Florida. And my dad was part of the space program. He worked for NASA for his entire adult life, with the exception of a couple of years. He was part of the Apollo programs, Apollo Soyuz, and the early Mars missions. And he was the public administration officer, chief of public affairs for Kennedy Space Center. So I was exposed to the space program at a very early age, and it was a big part of our life and something that I was really proud to be around, and one that came tumbling down around us in 1986, some 40 years ago. And my dad was still then very much a part of that. He was the only civilian member of the astronaut or the Challenger review process. All that taken in this last week with Artemis going around the moon was a really impactful thing for myself and for a lot of people. And a lot of people who weren't really around in the 60s and early 70s to know what that felt like. And certainly, some of the folks who were on the mission weren't necessarily around then, or if they were, they may not have had a significant memory of it. Yeah. So one of the mission specialists' name is Christina Koch. She's 47, so I don't know about her involvement, but she, I wanted to play or listen to her description of how she felt after the mission as a means of inspiration. And Brian's got that queued up for me because I think it pertains to all of us.
Who had to follow him. That's true. I couldn't sleep this morning, so I did write some words down in my mind, and I'm going to try and share them with you today. 10 days ago, this journey started with our mission manager, Sean Duvall, knocking on my door in crew quarters and whispering, "Christina, we're go for launch. Get up." And it ended last night when my nurse on the ship put me to bed and said, "Ma'am, can I get a hug?" So a lot has happened since then, but or between those two moments, but the start and the end were human moments here on Earth. So several years ago, I was giving a speech and I was doing my usual talk about crew and crewmates and teamwork. And someone asked the question, what makes a crew? What is different about a crew than a team? And I was like, I got this. Opened my mouth confidently to tell them everything I knew about being a crewmate. And everything that came out of my mouth was completely without value. I was like, yeah, crews, they're in space and they work together, but they eat together too. So, they're a crew. And boats have crews. You're a crew if you're on a boat. Helps if you have a paddle. That'll be good. That'll make you a crew. But the last 10 days, I've gotten a little bit of a better answer on that question. A crew is people or, a group that is in it all the time, no matter what, that is stroking together every minute with the same purpose, that is willing to sacrifice silently for each other, that gives grace, that holds accountable. A crew has the same cares and the same needs, and a crew is inescapably, beautifully, dutifully linked. So when we saw Tiny Earth, people asked our crew what impressions we had. And honestly, what struck me wasn't necessarily Earth, it was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe. Uh-oh. So I may have not learned, I know I haven't learned everything that this journey has yet to teach me. But there's one new thing I know, and that is planet Earth, you are a crew. Thank you.
Brian. We're all in this together, I guess, bottom line. And, like she said, giving each other grace is an important thing, but rowing in the same direction. So I just wanted to impart that. We've had the opportunity to meet Jose Hernandez and Mae Jemison, astronauts at the CSPA before. So space has always still been a part of our culture, but this is, I think, a really great turning point for us. And I hope a lot of great inspirational things are to come.
Thanks for sharing that. That was awesome. I don't really have nothing to report out, but I just want to wish somebody a very special birthday. And that's my grandson, Miles. Happy 7th birthday, Miles. Your papa loves you. Sorry I wasn't there, but I was there after I took you for ice cream today.
Happy birthday, Miles. Let's see. I attended the gala 2 weeks ago, and that was very well attended, a lot of fun, and happy to appreciate all the nominees and congratulate all the winners of the awards. And otherwise, nothing else to report. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, President Cabral. Board members, I hope that everyone, our staff members, students and families had a restful, enjoyable spring break. It is wonderful to see the energy back on our campuses this week. I had the pleasure of visiting Miller and Alvin Elementary schools recently, and it was heartening to see our students engaged and enthusiastic as we return back to class. They look like a crew out there. They were happy to see each other. And so as we move forward, I want to encourage everyone to hang in there as we enter the final sprint of the 25-26 school year. Since our last board meeting, we held a truly beautiful evening on March 27th at Santa Maria Fair Park for our Excellence in Education Gala. It was an awesome event and a fantastic opportunity to honor the incredible work happening across the district. Thank you, Andrea Alvarez, our Director of Human Resources, along with a host of volunteers who did a fantastic job at making that Fair Park venue look absolutely fantastic. At the gala, 4 top honorees were announced. Out of the 29 employees recognized as distinguished honorees, one of them being Maria Mota here, one of the distinguished honorees and my executive liaison. A panel of school employees and community members conducted these interviews with all of the honorees and reviewed submissions before selecting the 4 distinguished honorees as follows. We had classified, in the classified category, we had Lucy Castaneda, office manager from El Camino Junior High School. Certificated, we had Pamela Morris, school counselor at Oakley Elementary School. Administrative, we had Katie Ibarra, program specialist, special education. And then we had our guest employee. We had a category for our guest employees, whether they were subbing for our permanent employees. We had Ann McDaniel as a guest employee honoree. Congratulations to all of our honorees. We have videos posted to our district website homepage highlighting each of these top honorees, and we've been sharing gala honoree videos to our social media accounts. And I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who came out to celebrate. My feet are still hurting from being on the dance floor, but we really had a great time, and so I appreciate all the participation of our staff. And finally, just want to close by turning the focus back to our staff. First of all, I want to thank Lori Grock, who did an amazing job, along with Patricia McKnight, in introducing and really presenting on after-school programs on short notice. In regards to that, it was a consent item. We waffled back and forth as whether we were going to make it an action item, and they just did an outstanding job. We talk about excellent staff, and I just have an excellent staff that I really appreciate. So I want to thank them. I want to thank Armando for his presentation, Matt, for your presentation in our special board meeting earlier today. Thank you so much for putting that information together and laying it out for us. I'm continually moved by the commitment to our students, our staff. I want us to remain focused on our mission, and the video shown earlier was just very apropos to that. We show up every day, to do the good work that changes lives. And so I want to appreciate all of you. Thank you for everything you do to make this district a place where our students can flourish. That's all I have.
Great. Thank you, Dr. McDuffie. The next item 22, adjournment. The next regular board meeting for the Santa Maria Avenida School District will be held on Wednesday, May 13 at 6 p.m. If no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved and second. 9:05, meeting adjourned.